Welcome back. Thank you very much for your time. We're grateful. This is Wake Up Africa. If you just joined us, just gone by, we celebrated birthday, updated you on what's on the world of weather, and of course, shared some headlines with you. Now it's time to do the news review segment, but before then, make sure you stay hydrated, stay satisfied. Let me introduce to you AquaClear mineral water, sourced from pristine locations, treated to perfection. AquaClear has undergone some rigorous filtration, mineralization, and purification to ensure crystal clear and healthy hydration for your home, office, and event. You can get your 20 ml or 20 liter, forgive me, bottle of dispenser today. All you need to do is to contact them 024 0241 732 0880 or 0559 488 707 or visit us at the Action Chapel International, Spintex Road. Aqua mineral water, drink purity, feel satisfied. Make sure as well you connect with the Bank Hospital. That's where medical care meets excellence. And so for all your health needs, just walk to the Bank Hospital today. You can walk to their location that's close to NAFTI here in Accra, Ghana, at Laboni, or Cantonment if you like. They will help you get some great relief by way of health. Remember also 17th of July to the 19th of July is our big one. Finally, and for the first time, the Global Prayer Works Summit touches base here in Ghana, the source, right? And so it's stored everywhere, including the United Kingdom and the United States of America, yet it's not come to Ghana. Finally, it's here. So wherever you are watching us, make sure you make a date with us, register at our website and make sure that you're part of this year's big global prayer work summit. Well, my guest is in the studio. My very first one joins us in person. Reverend Xavier Demoji is a clinical engineer and also an assistant pastor with Teshi Action Chapel International. Grateful and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, good morning.
Indeed. Right. Well, there's a lot to talk about. I hope your weekend was also good.
Well, we thank God.
It was okay?
We just thank God.
Yeah, just thank God. Church.
Sundays are...
yes, they are very hot days
back days.
For you. We don't envy you at all. We pray for you. We pray for you. Quite a number of stories making headlines today. But let's start off with the very sad one. Sad one, I say, because at least there was a caution. But what can we do beyond that? Let's get into the news, right? Small Arms Commission warns against displays ahead of Fire Festival. And watch this news very carefully. So the Ghana National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons has advised against the display of any misuse of firearms ahead of this year's Fire Festival. Bugum Chugu, urging celebrants to uphold safety and legality during the cherished cultural event. In a public notice signed by Acting Executive Secretary Dr. Adam Bona, the Commission cautioned against brandishing of sophisticated weapons and warned that unauthorized possession and reckless discharge of firearms remain serious criminal offenses under Ghanaian law. The Fire Festival is a cherished cultural event meant to foster unity, joy, and tradition, not violence or fear. The statement read, the reckless use of firearms during celebration poses grave risks, including accidental shootings, injuries, and fatalities. So this particular statement was made, of course, captured also on City Newsroom on July 5th, 2025, right? Now, July 6th, 2025, stray bullet kills Bimbilla Senior High student amid Fire Festival celebrations. One person has been confirmed dead in Bimbilla following the discharge of firearms during the celebration of the Fire Festival, Bugum Chugu, on Saturday, 5th of July, when the statement was issued. The victim, identified as Fatima, a student of Bimbilla Senior High School, was reportedly hit in the neck by a stray bullet and died instantly. The bullet was allegedly fired by a celebrant using a small arm during the festivities. Her body has since been conveyed to the hospital morgue by security personnel. Eyewitnesses say the celebration was marked by widespread gunfire and the use of explosives, despite earlier warnings from Municipal Security Council urging participants to refrain from discharging firearms or using dangerous implements. It only goes to tell us the kind of people we are and the kind of republic that we are becoming. A warning was given 5th of July.
Yeah, the 6th.
And then it was defied the following day. What was said not to happen happened. And here we are. It's sad.
It's sad. It's sad. It's, when you look at the whole story, you ask yourself that these are things that have been taking place. When we talk of the fire festival, the people have a certain way of doing things, and it has been their custom and traditions that when it comes to these fire festivals, they are into this shooting of guns and showing all sort of things. So that is how they celebrate the festival. So with the regulations or the caution given by the commission, I don't know how significantly it will impact the celebration. To me, I think they should have gone further to resist the use of these things, put up measures or put up the police or the military to check some of these things. But if you just say it openly and they are not safeguard measures or people that have been put in place to make sure that people don't come with firearms in sort of their excitement and other things, we will by all means see the unfortunate, because these are laid down traditions that have been there. Anytime they are celebrating these fire festivals, you see people rocketing, shooting as a way of their celebration. So, and we have seen that, you see, the town, Bimbilla, already it's volatile as it is. And there are a lot of people with firearms and other things. So I think the commission should have gone further, notify the police, the military should be deployed to the community so that you don't see people having this kind of firearms, because it's an unfortunate issues. But to me, even though the caution was given, what was the rules? Did they engage the community leaders? Did they engage the chief, those who are planning for the festival, to make sure that some of these things don't occur? But it has happened. But I think I was listening to a news that the commission was saying that they are trying to do amendment of the law. According to them, this has been in for over 50 years, and the laws really didn't empower them to sophisticate and do other things. So it's at the cabinet for approval. I think some of these things should be looked at quickly, because the rate at which we have arms in Ghana sometimes is rather unfortunate. You see people possessing firearms, least provocation, someone is dead. And look at the girl who just died. It's very sad that we should have a student. I think she was even cautioned not to go out, but
she was.
She decided to just go out to see what is happening. And unfortunately happened.
Well, there we are. I think we have to get to such a point where even the leaders themselves, traditional leaders especially, must be concerned about their people. Culture is the way of life. It's the way a group of people live. It is not tradition. It's not supposed to be what has been there before. So if we don't use firearms, does not mean we have defied the orders of the gods, especially if it is at the behest of human life. If it's at the expense of human life, I don't think that we need to keep a tradition like this. If this is what happens all the time, and there's a track record, you can see a certain trend of someone always losing their life in this, then the traditional leaders, opinion leaders in that community must think, not wait for small arms commission to come in, military to enforce. As much as I agree, I'm saying that let's think about these things and let's do right. Let's do right. Well, let's away from that sad one, quite an exciting news, again, one that borders on the issues of enforcement, right? The Chief Executive Officer of National Youth Authority, Osman Ayarga, has called for a nationwide ban on e-cigarettes, shisha, and other harmful substances, warning a growing threat of substance abuse among Ghana's youth. Speaking on one of our sister stations, Umaru Sanda Amadu engaged him. This CEO expressed grave concern over the increasing use of vaping devices and similar products, which he described as a serious health risk to young people. This is what he had to say. The issue of substance abuse has become very teething and pivotal, and so far as the NY is concerned, I've heard various health arguments that shisha is very unhealthy for young people. So anything that will be unhealthy to young people, I will always subscribe that it should be banned. This is a national conversation we need to have. He disclosed that the NY is collaborating with security agencies to crack down on the circulation of opioids and other illicit drugs. Well, there was this particular time I recollect that the personnel from the Food and Drugs Authority was in the studio, one that was specifically in charge of issues of tobacco and the rest. And I was strong on my stance to say that if there is every research that says use of tobaccos, cigarettes, no matter whether it's electronic or whatever it is, how modified it is, it will always be harmful. Even just a puff will be harmful. What are we still doing not banning it? I didn't get straightforward answers. I'm glad that it's starting off with the National Youth Authority CEO and the directive. The question is the enforcement.
I totally agree with the CEO stand on the ban because if you look at the devastating effect of these drugs on the youth, it's very, very dangerous, But the truth is that this thing has come to stay now in Ghana, and it's rather unfortunate that a lot of people are getting into the business aspect of it. I happened to talk to one guy who was having this spot, and he was just telling me about the revenue they generate as a result of the sale of shisha. And you'll be amazed at what they are able to get within Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Just shisha.
Just shisha. And it's amazing. It's very lucrative because what he mentioned, as me to say, is a lot of money that anyone that have the ability will wish to go into that venture. That is why you see a lot of spots, a lot of malls, everywhere now. The sale of shisha is everywhere. And you see young people going in just to have a sniff of it and whatever it is. And forgetting about the effect, the dangerous effect it's having on their health. So to me, the ban, I don't know how we can be able to enforce that regulation because it will amaze you that this is somebody's business. And surprisingly, most of the people that venture into this are having some sort of influence. So I think that we should rather increase the tax on some of these things. And there should be much education on. You see, it's amazing you see a doctor smoking, knowing very well the effect, the devastating effect it will have on its health. But I think the education also must continue. We should find ways by which much education can be done to educate the youth about the use of some of these things because it's amazing. People feel when they take it, okay, they are guys, People feel when you are able to take shisha, you go for a sport and you don't take shisha or cigar, then you are not, it's good to say, you are not in that standard. And that is a kind of understanding most of these youth have. So I think much education should take place. People should be educated about some of this effect. There should be videos, there should be pictorial things, educating people about the devastating effect of some of these things. Because it's not just about smoking. Sometimes even the smoke, those around, those who smoke, the secondary smokers, the effect is even dangerous than the one that is even smoking it. So some of these things, I think there should be much education on it. And we should come up with a law to regulate it. Because if the laws, because these things are imported into the country. For instance, if you are supposed to go and buy a shisha at almost 2,000, I don't think, irrespective of how addictive you are, or how you crave it, you're not going to spend that much amount of money just to have a sip of it. But there should be anyone who wants to get into it, the tax should be massive because it's imported into the country. So there should be a way by which we should be able to regulate and totally ban some of these things in this country.
I see. Reverend Anaya Bafaboni has joined us via Zoom virtually, and he's an architect by profession, of course. Also heads the Eagles Network International Ministries. Thank you very much for your time. We're grateful that you can join us.
Yeah. Thank you, Coco, for having me. I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather. So,
Ooh, no. Wish you all the
same.
best, speedy
Yeah.
recovery as well.
3rd of July was my wife's birthday. The following, by evening of that day, I've been taken completely ill. And,
Ooh, no.
so it's been quite a torrid weekend, but I
Forgive
think
us.
I'm much better today. Only a
That's
little lingering cough, but I trust that I'll be able to make it to the studio tomorrow.
That's okay. Our thoughts are with you. We'll keep praying for you as well. We touched on the issues of Fire Festival and what happened. Now we are dealing with the banning of shisha and e-cigarettes, as said by the National Youth Authority CEO. As much as I agree with the Reverend Saviour's increasing of taxes on these products, one of the things the reason I would disagree is that we are fond of just getting into that frenzy. Oh, when you even came, you increased shisha. Shisha we're buying at 200 cedis, you increased it to 4,000 cedis. Bad government. So that's why I will go for a total ban, no matter how draconian it may sound, and other people's businesses may go down. I would want to go there. Let me hear your thoughts, sir.
Well, but if we are going by the same reason you are alluding, then they also say you're a bad government, you took away their business.
Well, that's better, isn't it?
It comes down to the same thing. When the prices go up, they still get knocked out of business. You see, the thing is, sometimes we play the ostrich a bit, and I'm not playing the devil's advocate in this matter, but we need to understand that when we embrace a certain lifestyle and culture, these things come with the terrain. Unless we are going to say we should ban nightclubs, we should ban social event centers. You see, because so far as you try to create a nightlife, you try to create a life for people to have some sort of recreation, it comes with all this bad boy feel, whether you like it or not, this bad girl feel, whether you like it or not. You know, it's just like saying you want to ban condoms. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that the ban or the taxes will not completely erode these things. Sometimes we need a very complex, multifaceted approach. And I think Reverend Sylvia has mentioned some of that. Education is part and parcel of it, for example. And I'm not talking about just public education like NCC and other public health officers do, because Reverend Sylvia, I alluded to the fact that you see a doctor who is even smoking. Yes, I've actually had to see a doctor once, a Togolese doctor, sorry to mention the nationality, that at a point he had to step out of the consultation because he told us he was getting jittery and needed to unload some packs of cigarettes. And he went to the gate of the hospital and finished nearly a pack or so and came to continue attending to us. You know, and this is the man who is trying to save our lives. This is many, many years ago at a hospital somewhere in Accra. So, and this was my family hospital, actually, that I had been attending from infancy. We need to understand that it comes with the terrain. It's just like saying, why don't we ban betting? Why don't we close the NLA down? But we have become a secular state and a secular society. We are not a Christian country or an Islamic republic where we can use law to regulate people's behavior and moral conduct. You know, so we need a multifaceted approach. The educational system. I remember when we were in school, you know, this RME business was not there. People were being taught proper etiquette. People were being taught how to behave and conduct themselves as good human beings and morally upright. And it was taught without any religious undertone, you know, like you see happening in Japan, where children say thank you after crossing the Pelican crossing. They clean up after themselves. They help the elderly. They stand up for the elderly to sit in public transport. That's nothing to do with creed or belief system. They have just taken something they value as something cultural, something that is a norm, and they've been able to infuse it into even the academic space, you know. And sadly, we began to put all these things on the church and the mission schools and all that. But we need that whole multifaceted approach where people were taught civics and we felt patriotism was on the high. I remember when JHS came, We were, I think, the second or third batch. And we were taught a song, Children of the land, don't be afraid. Jesus has come to save all. Only handle the tools with care, and the psychomotor skills shall flow. We sang these things as anthems every morning, and we were charged up. We went to the workshop there, and Charlie, we didn't feel too dadabi to handle the chisels, and those who lived in the poshest parts of Accra, in cantonments and Laboni, did not feel shy to hold the hammer and drive in a nail into some piece of wood, use the spoke shave to try and clean up a corner of, a bench we were making. And there was no difference between who was high and who was mighty and who was down there at the bottom of the pit. All these things are a deliberate way of psyching and training a people's mind. But we've thrown all these things out there, and we are just training the head, the head, the head, the head. So there's no heart. First, we're training the head, the heart, and the hands. Now the head, the head, the head, the head, the head. So now we have heady people who are led by their pleasures and their desires. So we need to look at a very multifaceted approach. Increasing the taxes, they will smuggle it in. Reverend Savior, believe you me, there are things that have been banned in Ghana. It's on record as banned, contraband goods. You will find some in Accra if you want. They came through leaky borders. So are we going to strengthen our borders? Are we going to use tax regime? Are we going to use banning? When we ban, is there a task force that is going to go on the market and do snap random checks to make sure that these things are being kept out of our nation? Because red, as we know, that pill is contraband. FDA has banned it. It's not allowed. Let me tell you, I don't want to mention certain areas. If we enter there today after the program, you will be surprised how many bales of red tablets you can carry home. You understand? So the issue is always about enforcement. It's about patriotism. It's about political will. It's about educating our people. Once they get it right and their morals are centered on collective values that we have as Ghanaians, it does not matter what religion or creed, we will start to see some of these things on a downward slide.
Well, we'll see. Sounds like a Herculean task where we have gotten to as a nation. Sounds very, very, very tough. Also because from a communications point of view, a lot of agencies, of course, agencies, whether government or not governmental, they see education, PR, budget as one that they can quickly jump on and devour instead of using it to help the citizenry. That is where, so they put the monies there to take, not to use to communicate and to send these, to do these education and sensitization, activities. Let's still stay in within that space of narcotics and hard drugs, as the Narcotics Control Commission has delivered a significant blow to international drug trafficking networks with the seizure of 738 compressed parcels of suspected cannabis at the Swissport terminal in Accra on July 5th. The substantial illicit consignment, meticulously hidden within 40 boxes falsely labeled as assorted food items, was on its way to the United Kingdom, highlighting the country's persistent challenge as a transit point for illicit drugs bound for European market. This latest interception follows weeks of intensive intelligence gathering and surveillance by NARCOC officials, a testament to their continuous efforts in disrupting sophisticated drug operations. 2 individuals have been apprehended in connection with the Swissport seizure and are currently assisting with investigations. However, authorities have declared 2 other suspects, Lincoln Okaija, born 27th March 1979, and Kate Davidson, alias AC, as wanted persons, urging the public to provide any information that could lead to their capture. And so that's it. It goes on and on and on to always tell us the reason why we probably are being put on blacklist on a lot of nations, because whether you like it or yes, it's out there. Research is showing that we are the gateway, not of Africa anymore. We are becoming the gateway of illicit drugs, trafficking, and of course, transporting. It's a sad one for Mother Ghana, the beacon of democracy.
These days, you feel the effect much when you travel outside this country. That you're about to enter a country, they will ask you, which country are you coming from? And when they realize you are from Ghana or Nigeria, then they ask you to step aside. And they
thorough
open
search.
And you ask yourself, what have you done wrong?
Just because of people like EC.
I remember one time we traveled and somebody's
Okaija.
kinky, Fanti kinky. They have to open and do a thorough search just to be sure that something is not in it. Some of these things create a very wrong international image for us when you happen to have the chance to travel. So I'm happy that such people are apprehended because these are things they are doing for years. And these are individuals they don't just hide to do it. It's a whole group look at the packaging. It's not just one package. It's about 100 packaging. That means individuals were employed and they package the thing in such a way that you cannot notice it. What is our conscience telling us?
Yeah.
You see, what is your mind telling you? Because these things are destroying lives. These things are killing people. You see, you may see somewhere and say you are enjoying the money that is coming out of it. But as you say, it is blood money. If you do some of these things and people get mad, people's destinies are destroyed, people's future are destroyed because of drugs, and you are the one pushing it, will you give that to your child? Would give that to even your daughter to take? But you are promoting some of these things. So I think it's high time that Ghanaians are patriotic. We shouldn't just look at the way to just get money, but we should report incidents like this. I'm happy. This is all as sort of a result of intelligence that came out. So I think that those who that help in giving such informations should be awarded because these things are happening. Sometimes you get things, look at the other day, it was even a curtain and they place the things under it.
Yeah.
So I think it's high time that people who are involved in some of these things, it's not a matter of just being arrested. We should see to the end what happened to them. Because it will amaze you that some of these people, they don't even take these drugs. But they are into it, they are making money, they are making building properties and all sorts of things because of this. And to me, it's very unaccepted.
Well, at the heart of the issues of sensitization and education comes also the issue of enforcement. Elsewhere, when you focus on how developed countries run, yes, they're educated, they are sensitized on the use of some of these things, but they have laws that work, and they don't always tamper justice with mercy. You will face the rigors of the law. Reverend Anael.
Yeah, Kwaku, I for some reason I've had some experience working with the Narcotics Control Commission when it was a Narcotics Control Board. I actually was involved in the design of their current office building, as well as the other facilities that they have over there. So I've had an opportunity to witness some of their operation, and this is I don't know, maybe the media just happened to be there, so this is being noised abroad. They do quite a lot of such busts, put it out in the media so much so that we also don't get that unfortunate tag. But one of the things I picked there when I was consulting at the Narcotic Control Commission was that Ghana, like I was talking about our ports, whether airports, the harbors, and the loose ports. It's because of this knowledge is known on the international scene. That is why we become such an attractive transit point. Because remember, Ghana is, by comparatively, is very, very, very developed if you compare to the rest of Africa. Ghana is one of the few countries where you can have access to internet and can transact business from almost every capital city in this country. Most African countries, apart from the main capital city, maybe the next one like the Kumasi is the only place that, quote unquote, is habitable to a certain degree. Most of the big ones, you heard their names, apart from South Africa and Egypt and a few others. So Ghana is so strategic when it comes to our infrastructure, our development, and then comes with the porosity of our borders, and how it is easy to weave your way through. So sometimes you can even see drugs that are coming from Mexico, South America, and they'll come all the way into Ghana and then find its way rather into US, which is just a few hours away from that place, and because of the goodwill Ghana has enjoyed in the business community and the global community, we were looked at with an eye of trust. So it was very easy to explore the good image of Ghana, coupled with all these weaknesses, to make us a very good transit point to get these things into the Americas and then to Europe. So eyes were stronger on people coming from certain parts of the world because they were known more like a hub, whilst eyes were not strong on Ghana because they were a young democracy doing well for themselves, making waves. It was the era where we became the fastest growing economy. People just let down their guard on us. Why would they engage in such a thing when the economy is so good? And over time, we have just run down this image. And our Nigerian brothers haven't helped. Even when they are caught, the first thing they say is that they are Ghanaians, And then that also helped to sort of drive our image and our reputation down. Sorry for the disturbance, down the mud. So, like you rightly said, we are in a very difficult situation, and it's my prayer that Narcotic Control Board or Narcotic Control Commission will step up. In fact, they are doing a lot of serious intelligence work with some of this. I don't want to throw names about, but some of these very secret European and American drug agencies, because I happen to do some work for them also along that when one of them was trying to build some offices for them related to this. So there's some very serious work going on that is being done very overtly, and I'm very happy that from time to time some of these things are made public. First and foremost, these things that have been arrested should be tracked. We've seen an era and a time in government where exhibits got missing. Some turned to Kokonte powder. We must not allow this to happen again. It was a major embarrassment and a disgrace. Cocaine turned into Kokonte powder overnight. It was unacceptable. It was taken to court. The things were tested in the lab and was found that there was no trace of narcotics. It was just a cassava flour. It's unfortunate. We must not allow this to happen. If they're going to be disposed of, it should be done in a way that is clear, transparent. We all see nobody is benefiting on the back end. These guys must be prosecuted and made to face the full rigors of the law. Sometimes I feel that the penal system is not prohibitive enough. You try this in Thailand and you just say goodbye to your family because you know that you were a goner, and they needed to work so hard. Even that they've not been able to fully purge, this narcotic tag that their country has been tagged with. But they've taken very extreme measures. And sometimes the way to fight an extreme situation is to go extreme and then, crash it with all the lethal force that it's required.
Right. I agree. I don't know. Maybe I'm an extremist, and so forgive me. So when I hear lethal, when I hear draconian, I get very excited. I'm sure Evan and I are everyone is laughing by now. Anyways, say again.
You look like one of the sweetest beings in the world, but I think it's just your nature. You don't like and people bend the rules, so then you will do everything in your power. But when I was much younger, I was like that.
Okay.
One time I've come to realize that see, we live in a fallen world.
Right.
We live in a fallen world, and no matter how much draconian steps we take, there will be worse sinners who, instead of being deterred, will be inspired.
Right.
Who would have thought that with what happened in the Rawlings era against corruption, where people were shot and killed, not even for stealing, but for using their office to peddle influence for those.
That's right.
Who would have thought that after such a history, people would now even buy 10, 20 houses in one locality and flaunt it. You get my point? So sometimes use a draconian, time passes and you realize that it really didn't solve anything. So sometimes we are really treating the fruit problems, like Dr. Appiah Kubi will say, when we should be getting to the root cause. I think gradually Ghana shifted to become too materialistic, and our moral foundations have decayed. If we'll be very honest, today, nobody asks a young man how he became rich when he has money. When I was young, the richest man alive in Ghana was a Kowu man who was supposed to have had, I think, 30 or so houses. He was so celebrated. And he was an elderly man. I'm not saying young people can't get rich. I'm not saying we should not encourage our young people to be ambitious. But what I'm saying is that we have become so materialistic. We'll easily make you a board chairman or to chair a church fundraising event once you have come to park the nicest Range Rover Evoque. And we don't care what you do and what you did to get there. And people have felt that we are respected on the back of materialism, then I also must belong. I also need to get that respect. And if I have to kill my mother, I have to murder Koku, I have to spoil all the water bodies in Ghana, I have to insult President Mahama to look relevant, I have to curse Akufo-Addo to get some position that will allow me to have that respect, so be it. And I think that we've lost the plot. I don't know which generation will get the plot back. But I'm saying they are very deep things. Ghanaians don't respect hard work anymore.
Yeah.
You tell them you work hard. Look, all the young guys who have come out to tell us, respect the hustle. I'm working hard. Give us a year, 2, sometimes 3 months, and then their cover is blown that this guy is some internet fraudster. He's into romance scam. You see that you wonder that, look, this hard work thing, maybe it's just being used as a facade. Make man just pass somewhere, then do something. So if I'm saying I'm a pastor, and Koku, it's hard when you are teaching your members that we can apply principles. Reverend, look, child, what you are saying, you are stone age. You are, child, they don't tell you in the faith, but you see from the body language that you will hear your investment, you will hear. It's sad. It's sad.
Anyways, well, that's where we are. We pray, and of course, I want to live to see that my generation is the one that changes or causes a paradigm shift. As much as I don't see it happening, I'm so hopeful because I've seen my friends and what they have started doing already. It's bleak, but we'll keep praying, right? Education Minister promises increase in student loan trust fund allocation for 70 million Ghana cedis to 150 million Ghana cedis. So the Ghanaian tertiary students are set to receive a significant injection of financial support as Education Minister Aruna Iddrisu announced more than doubling of the Ghana Education Trust Fund, GET Fund allocation to the Students' Loan Trust Fund, SLTF, the major boost, increasing the allocation from 70 million Ghana cedis to 150 million Ghana cedis aims to alleviate the financial pressure on students pursuing higher education. The crucial announcement was made by Minister Iddrisu on Friday, July 4, 2025, during the official launch of No Fee Stress policy. This new policy is designed as a direct intervention to ease financial burden faced by students seeking access to tertiary education across the country's public and private universities, polytechnics, and colleges. So there we are. The other day I was curious, Rev. I wanted to know how exactly people pay their loans. I was not fortunate enough to go through a system that gives me loan, and so I don't know. As much as I'm excited, I don't know how these loans are paid back.
The issue is the demand, the number of people that exit senior high school now because of the free SEH.
Right.
A lot of people have gotten access to senior high school now, and a lot of them are out. The question is, if you had the chance to go to senior high school freely, now you are finished and you have to go. So the junk number of people that must enter the tertiary, it's true that it's obvious that most of them will not be able to afford some of this higher education. So this thing has come in to help people to gain access to tertiary education. I'm just surprised that I don't know why the over 100% increment, because the issue with accessibility is what I'm asking about. Because to access some of these loans, it's a loan, it's not just a free, because I'm surprised they say a free.
No, it was launched under the policy.
It's a loan. So if, for instance, they are giving, let's say, 500 Ghana cedis as a loan, this is 100%. Is it going to increase the amount that you are being given? And the question is, how the accessibility is the issue, because here's the case. I see a lot of students calling you that, they want you to come and guarantee their student loan and all those things for them. So, but I think that those who really need it, because tertiary education is very important. It's a way of just, because of the cost involved, tertiary education is quite expensive sometimes. So I think that instead of giving some of this loan, we should think about how we can reduce the cost so that the accessibility can be across board, because these are people who go in for these loans. The repayment is when the issue comes in, because despite the flexibility that you have, that leverage to clear your loan within the time you start working, it's also a burden as it goes on. So there should be much education on it, because I see it like a lot of people will just be excited. Now there is free loan. For instance, if they are giving them about 5,000, they will just go for it, and some of them will just use it for things that are not even intended for. That was what I was asking about, the 100% increment. Why 100%? Is it that the amount they are giving is not supporting them enough, or what the issue is? So I think it's a good cause, but as a way of promoting education, helping people to have tertiary education in a better way. But we should look at it in a way that people will not mismanage whatever they receive.
I see. Reverend Anaya Bafo-Bonding, did you have the opportunity to get a loan? And
as far as I remember, I think I did in the first or second year. Then I went off it because I realized that, like Reverend Sylvia just said, sometimes you just realize you don't need it. I was fortunate not to have needed a loan. So I think after second year or so, I opted out completely. I think second year, I think when I took my loan, I bought a ghetto blaster myself to wish myself a happy birthday, because being an Akitu student, it's extremely difficult to work late into the night without music, So I didn't get that for entertainment purposes, but just to help my academic work. So normally I would just play my worship songs when it's a little late and the sleep wants to come in. I play the fast-paced ones, what in Ghana would traditionally call praise, though that's not the proper definition. We call every fast song praise song, a slow song is a worship song, but that's not what it means. So we just try to keep company. Occasionally, I'll just be playing my sermons here and there. So that was my way of just keeping company and all that. But I think that was my 19th or so birthday. I just bought it to make myself happy. But after I said, listen, this thing, look, whatever I'm being given from home is more than enough. I mean, I grew up in a very super modest single parent home, Charlie. Why go give myself some luxury that after school I'll be biting my fingers for, because it was only just a mirage. So I just went off it and lived my budgeted life. But let me commend the president for doing this as a top-up to the free senior high school program. It is good. It is good in the sense that people will have opportunity to have access to university, and it's a good thing. And like Reverend Sylvia has said, it is a loan. It's not a gift. It's not a freebie. If you don't need it, don't go for it. That's all that I'll say. If you don't, because look, first and foremost, getting a job nowadays is very difficult. And then to get one, and then with these low salaries we have in our country, you're already also starting life with debt. It's one of the things that is killing Americans a lot and Europeans. They start life and the first thing they have is debt on tertiary and then debt on their first car and house. That's why they have that statement, life begins at 40. But we don't understand it. It's not about the number, but it's an estimation that by 40, your first set of major debts would have been retired through your work life, and they normally start to work from like 22 after university. So you are telling you need about some 18 years to be able to retire that debt. And that's a developed economy. So fellow Ghanaians, please, if you don't need it, don't go and get it and put yourself in an unnecessary stress. But I commend the government for that. It's my prayer that it will be properly administered. It will not turn into the same cycle of bad debt that couldn't be recovered and then become part of the ongoing debt cycle that we keep paying and paying and paying. So it's a commendable thing. And I thank the president for being thoughtful. I'm told some people have even received SMS alerts of reimbursements of some monies and all that. And there's jubilation and happiness. I have become very skeptical about things like that because of our COVID experience. Some people were now bathing 5 times a day because there was free water. I was switching on my ACs, blasting all day long, all night long, because Charlie, there's free power. Little did I know that I was going to pay through our nostrils and a very conscious pontifical draconian way of cost recovery, which I'm still really under now. So when I see freebies, I'm very, very careful. So when it's coming from the government, because what people don't know is government doesn't have a job. People don't know that. There's no place government goes to work and gets paid. People always forget that.
Yeah.
The government doesn't have that. This is his company, he's producing. Government doesn't have. Government's job is your taxes. You understand? So anytime that government is dashing you something, he is going to hold you on your waist and just the last drop out of you. That's how government gets money.
That's right.
So please, if production is not happening and you are getting freebies, let your antennas go up. When production is happening and there's freebies, we thank God that is the excess blessing of production, But when production is not happening and there's, come and collect. If you don't pay, your children or your grandchildren will come and pay.
Anyways, just a quick reference to that particular statement, life begins at 40. I think it's just connected to something I was sharing with a friend yesterday, where once you are born on the soil of Africa, especially where I was born, the part where I was born, and you are born into a family that's it's averagely okay. Quarter, if you have to live a very good life where you don't steal, you don't cheat, you don't do anything, greed does not engulf your whole life. You are sure to begin your life at 40. I had to come to that very difficult realization yesterday. And of course, when you are putting together...
Dr. Apia Kubi has infected you.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, you have been draconianly
infected.
Anyways, that's just by the way. Thank you very much. We're grateful as always for making our Mondays exciting. Thank you. Reverend Xavier Ademoji is a clinical engineer by profession, also an assistant pastor with the Action Chapel International Teshi. Are you getting ready for the Global Prayer Week Summit?
I can't wait.
You can't wait. We are bringing a lot of people.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes.
But this is the first time we have such an event.
Yes, here in Ghana.
So we are all waiting to get involved to see the fire that we emanate.
Absolutely. And of course, Reverend Anaya Bafo Boni is an architect by profession and also pastors the Eagles Network International Ministries. We are grateful and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a wonderful time, and I'm sure you have enjoyed yourself as we have shared our perspectives. Make sure you also share yours with us. Always drop it on our live stream. It's on Facebook and My Dominion TV. You can connect there. I will share with the world. Just drop your comments there, and I'll do so. Flora Nashida says, the other day was my son's birthday. I told you guys you didn't wish him, so another birthday is coming. Because I'm a fan of this station, when immediately I give you the person's name, please try to mention it and show it for me. Good morning, thank you. It's our own station, our Papa station. God bless all of us. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you very much, Flora Nashida. We'll take a break at this point. When we come back, there's more. Stay with us.